Welcome back. It's the Maz and Mo show. Hi, Maz. How's it going, buddy?
I
Technical issues as normal. Tell me, how did your week go?
waiting for the matches on the weekend. Apparently, that's the only thing to wait for. Not really into the Champions League. We'll touch on it a little bit.
Yeah,
Arsenal
yeah.
went through. Congratulations, well deserved. Didn't see that coming that easy. But having said that, truly well deserved.
I
Aston
think
Villa,
we knew they were going to
yeah,
get through. It's just the manner of them going through was, I think, way more easier than we thought for the second leg at least.
yeah, over two legs. I mean, they were the better
Of
team.
course,
The
yes,
better,
that goes without
definitely.
saying. Yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
and I think Ancelotti is a dead man walking. It's a matter of time till they replace me. He even said that he's going to leave at the end of the season. I'm not sure if he will be given at the end of, till the end of the season. I think after the Copa del Rey final, that will decide his fate. Uh,
Really?
yeah, I think
He's
so.
been great for them, Maz. I'm
Uh,
surprised they want him out. He's been great. I mean, one bad season.
it's part of the Spanish culture. I mean, the guy won them the Champions League, I think, two or three times. That enough would give him few years, but this is how it is there. I mean, this is a good example for Trent. I'll guarantee you, if you don't play well for like 3, 4 games, everybody will turn against you. This is how it is there in Spain.
I
Um,
I
I
couldn't
mean,
give
yeah. I mean,
I
even
couldn't give a
remember
shit.
Hansi Flick. He's doing now super with the Barcelona. There was a period where they had like a dip. Everybody was taking against him. Everybody was comparing him to Xavi. Everybody was like, okay, he needs to leave. The guy's nothing, and suddenly it changed. And this is how it is there. Anyway, it's not our debate, not our show. I thought the English teams did well. Even Aston Villa, they did
Oh
okay. They
wow.
did
They
well.
did way better than Liverpool
Uh,
did.
and overall, if anything, they showed that you can beat Paris Saint-Germain. It's not really a mission impossible. If you take the first leg against Liverpool, I don't think Paris Saint-Germain, is one of the top teams in the top three teams in Europe. But having said that, let's go back to the Premier League. It's back again. We've got quite a few incidents today. I mean, a couple of red cards also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lots and lots of goals. I would say, apart from the Crystal Palace game,
S-
which is
yeah,
dull,
Crystal Palace was a bit disappointing,
the
to be
rest,
honest with the
the rest,
result
were-
at least.
the, the rest were okay. Let's begin with Brentford and Brighton, 4-2. Uh, I'm a bit surprised about Brighton. They were doing okay. Is it what we discussed before? Are
We
the
we kind of talked to
players?
we
Yeah,
I don't know, Maz. They haven't won a game in the last five. You know that
yeah.
they've drawn two, I think, and lost three. So I'm really surprised about that. It's worrying signs. Now the red card I think is deserved in today's match. It just shows frustration that someone's uh, keeping hold of Joao Pedro, but take nothing away from Brentford. I mean, they've always been switched on, even when they lose. They give it a go. You know, they're not a team that would their heads will drop just because you score a goal or two. I mean, we saw them against um, uh, Arsenal last week. Also, in their last five, they've won two games, drawn two, and lost only one. And they had way harder fixtures than Brighton did. I mean, with all due respect to the leagues, but what I'm saying is the teams that they played were higher up in the table, and I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised.
We talked about Brighton the other day, and the question was, I'm pretty sure, and everybody's probably would agree that few of these already know they're not going to be here next season,
Yeah, yeah,
and
100%. Yes,
for them,
you can see it.
yeah, you can see some of them are not really 100% focused, but credit to them, they were a man down, 3-1 down, and they gave it a good fight. They pulled one back through
Yeah,
Mitomo, and it could have gone anyway, anywhere, anyway after that goal. I mean, yes, On paper, Brentford were. It looks like they were always capable of scoring, but at 3-2 Premier League, they could have snatched at the rope.
Yes, but I mean, would they deserve it or not is the question. I
No,
think
if you say for the resilience, the fighting spirit, yes. In terms of football, no, Brentford deserved it all day
Brentford
long,
were
all
just
day long,
incredible. They
all
had
day long.
those lob passes all the way through, right behind the defenders,
Yeah,
and they just run. The issue is they really understand each other, especially Wissa and Buemo. Uh, it's incredible how these guys. I mean, I bet you with the blindfold on each one, they would know exactly how to pass the
yeah.
ball to each other. They're that good. Unfortunately, I just say that maybe Brighton has kind of they know they're where they are. They know they're not going to go higher in the league. I mean, much higher at least. And I think it's like let's try new things, maybe, but it doesn't look good for them for next season, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
but I think they're just passing time. Some of them are already on the vacation mode. This is my
True,
my
Maz,
take.
but look at the I mean the table. They're at 10th at the moment with 48 points. Okay. Above them is Fulham at 48 with less games. Bournemouth is 49. So you could go up to 8th at
which
least.
which really is not really a big motivation.
No, no, it isn't. No, unfortunately. But they're still 6 points behind Chelsea at 7th. Again, it's not much. And then you've got 57 Aston Villa. Now, are they going to get Europe? I don't see that happening.
No,
No,
I
no,
I thought I
unfortunately, no.
thought they and them and Bournemouth had a good chance to get European football two
They
months
did.
ago. They
Hmm.
were in the mix.
Even a month ago, Brighton had. I mean, before those
Yeah,
5 matches, that they lost one after the other. If they had won two of those, they'll be
in the
up in the
mix.
mix. You get me?
It
54.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same, but maybe a little bit different. If we jump to the next match, the Crystal Palace against Bournemouth, because everybody was thinking Bournemouth will clinch a European place. They were doing really well. They were pain in the ass for all the big teams, and suddenly, you know, the wheels fell off, and now they're struggling to win even against a 10-man Crystal Palace. With all due respect, if they would have played this match 3 months ago, Bournemouth would have had a festival. But
Maz, they
now
haven't
you see,
won in their last
yeah,
8 matches.
yeah,
They've won
exactly.
only one, sorry, which is against Fulham, which was a
Again,
surprise, I think, for everyone, really.
we spoke about. Okay, look, every team has these periods in the season, the dips. But I still remember Ronald Koeman. One of the main issues against him was main points against him that he's not capable of lifting the team when they go into such a dip. And not any manager can do that. So it takes longer. Eventually, the quality will be back, and they will start winning again. But only good managers can lift teams when they go into a dip. And it seems like Bournemouth and Brighton, both, even though they're good managers, they're still into that period. They're not lifting themselves. Now it's too late for both of them to catch any European
I agree.
football.
Yes, I think it's way too late
So,
now.
so it's done and dusted. Bournemouth is even worse because I can guarantee you there'll be 3, 4 players leaving because there's already talk about 3 or 4 players already in negotiation with other clubs. You got Kerkez, Samadio, we got
Semenyo, I heard
uh,
interest from
uh,
Man United.
yeah,
Yeah,
even
Kirkez, there's 3 clubs going for him. One of them, Liverpool.
even Kluivert, I think he will be
Kluivert
on the
also, I've
move.
heard. Yeah, I
So
mean, it's still rumors, but these things don't bubble up out of nothing. I think the players themselves want to play,
yeah,
and they think they're able to play at a higher level
and we've
with a
seen it
bigger club.
when a player wants to move, he will move. Eventually,
That
that's the sad
that's
reality of football now.
exactly. Yes, I completely agree with that. It's unfortunate. Let's put it that way. I
Yeah,
mean, I think the red card wasn't. Did it impact the game that much? Maybe not. But I mean, you had 45 minutes for Bournemouth to score a second half. I mean, they had the chances, but It's just as you said. It's just everyone believed that that's it. But, Crystal Palace pulled back, made it a bit tight. It's credit to Crystal Palace. 45 minutes
Yeah, yeah,
against Bournemouth.
definitely, definitely.
It's an achievement to get away with a point, really. But good signs for Crystal Palace. I can't say anything else. I mean, they were really low in the table. They were struggling at that, just a bit above the
I
relegation.
thought they would have started better. And if they would have started better, they would have probably ended up in the mix for the top eight. Uh, I didn't get why they started so slow. But again, you see it both ways. You see teams who will start really brilliant in the first half, and then the wheels fall off, and they start to struggle, and vice versa. It's like Crystal Palace is the other team. The longer the season goes, the better they become, or the solider they become as a unit. Let's say
Yeah,
they're a
yeah,
solid team now.
very true.
They were shipping goals in the beginning of the season.
Hmm.
Uh, Speaking about shipping goals, it seems that Guardiola is getting his defense in order, slowly but in order. They're conceding less than what they
Maz,
did.
you saw the match? I saw
Yeah,
the
I
match.
I
Do
thought
you
they
really
started.
think
I thought they started really slow. They were not into the game, but especially in the second half they grew into it. The last 20 minutes they dominated.
it
If
lasts
I
20
if
minutes, but
Yeah.
the rest, first half, I thought Everton had the better chances. They were playing the better football. They were creating problems for them. They didn't look. It's been the case of Everton all season, really. They don't have goal scorers in them. I'm sorry. It's that number 10 is I keep forgetting his name. He's a great player, very good talent. The problem is Beto is not the best, and I don't care what the people say about Calvert-Lewin not being there. He wasn't scoring enough anyway. So they lack that proper goal scorer. If they did, today they would have had at least a goal, at least first half.
Well, buddy, apart from three or four teams, every other team is lacking a goal scorer.
I
Even
completely
Liverpool is
agree,
lacking a goal
but
scorer. It's hard to find.
no, I agree. I'm not saying that they're easy, but the problem is Everton. I mean, Beto is another version of Darwin Núñez. Calvert-Lewin is Chris Wood on a bad day. Um, who else? What's his name? That number 10 guy doesn't score enough in my books.
Yeah.
Who's going to score? You
Well,
tell me.
look at it this way. If a team is languishing in the 15th place or below that, would you really expect they will get a decent striker? I don't
No,
think so.
of course not. No.
Unless they have a good scouting team and they go and dip into other markets. I don't know, Portugal, Spain, South America, and they bring someone and it hits. That's the only way. I mean, if any of these 15 plus goals per season strikers, I don't think he will head to Everton. With all due respect, now. Even with the new stadium, by the way, it means nothing. Who,
No, we understand that, but if
no,
you
I
can
mean,
scout someone that's fairly young, I mean,
yeah,
Mazel, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and one of the things that was brought up, Frankfurt. Frankfurt always seemed to have a striker in the making, a new shining star. Marmoush is one of them. There was another guy before that, another guy before that. Um, my thing is English teams are lacking their scouting teams. Well, maybe Southampton had great scouting team before, but not anymore. Um, they're lacking that. Why buy milk when you can buy the freaking cow? Is what I'm trying to say. You know,
it
go.
is it is not the same after the Brexit, because a lot of these strikers, many of them are French. You see them, especially I'm going to talk about the French players because they're all over in Germany, Italy, all over the place. And if you're in the EU, you don't need much to get a working permit, and these players can play anywhere. Now, if these players want to go to the Premier League, there's a string system of points. Usually, they don't meet it. They won't be able to meet it. It's difficult to get players uh, at the age of 2021 to play in England if they don't meet the criteria. The trick is to get them very young, which is also a lot of investment. The English teams are not really willing to pay for. I mean, look at Liverpool. When was the last time they dipped into that market of South America and they got talented 15, 16 years old? The last one was the goalkeeper and they sold him and they sold him back. That was the, I forgot his name, the youngster who they bought them and they sold them last year.
Oh
They
yeah, what?
prefer
Yeah, the
they
redhead, right?
yeah they prefer to buy the finished article. Many of the players that are linked to City and Liverpool, they were in the mix, in the rumors since the last 3 years. Now, nobody went and thought 50 million would be okay to buy them. Even Marmoush. I mean, Marmoush was on the market in the beginning. Nobody went
That's
for him.
exactly my point. Yes, that I mean, it pisses me off that we can't.
Yeah,
We're not scouting very well, or it's either that or we don't develop very well. We scout. It's
it's
what always one of them is missing. Okay, you scout, you bring
it's
someone in,
yeah
you can't develop him. Like Van der, what's his name? The defender that went to Brentford. Klopp was in favor of him, I think, and they brought him in. And sorry, every time he got into the team, we would chip goals. I remember the
yeah.
5-5 if if you remember that one with Arsenal.
Yeah, that
It's
one was a really strange one because when they bought him, he really had, I think, a season or two in the Dutch division. He wasn't really, he was promising, yes, but that's a big ask to bring him immediately, throw him
exactly.
into England without developing him. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but the model of multi-club is really proving to be good. City's good at it. I think Liverpool should do it, although they said they're going to do it 200 years ago, but they haven't done it till now. Get a Portuguese or a French club, use it as a breeder, buy players from South America, development in the League One, and then sell them to Liverpool. This is how it is. This is the best way because the way the big teams play. And let us be frank, big teams fans, including us Liverpool fans, don't have the patience to wait. We want to fight for titles. We can afford to have a youngster to come in for 10, 15 matches per season if he's good, by the way. If he's not good, I don't think they will wait for more than three, four matches, and then they will ship him on loan after loan after loan. How many players shipped on loan really developed? Few of them did, but the rest no, they just drafted into the unknown. So it's the whole system that is not. It's again, it's the Premier League, it's the money, big money. I want quick results. I want quick approvals from the fans. This is the problem with Manchester United, by the way. Throw hundreds of millions, get the fans happy, waxing themselves over Casemiro and I don't know who, and then after a year or two, oh, that was waste. Okay, but you were jumping before that. You wanted them to sign them. It's the short term. Give the youngsters time, and they will develop. And this is what's happening with United again. But it comes with a price. You're not gonna win shit if you do that, at least for a few years.
Well, they haven't won many things anyway, right? I mean, they haven't been at least competing that much for the big prizes at least. But yeah, okay. I mean, look, it's not that I don't see things. What you're saying, I don't disagree with. But sorry, I disagree with. It's just that I feel that it's lacking. You've got the potential. I mean, we've talked about this. Barcelona screwed themselves over. The talent they breed, bring them up, get them to a point. They go away for free, come back. They have to
Yeah,
buy them, and they did
yeah,
that like four, five, six times in a short period of time. They, I mean, he was your player a couple of years ago. I
yeah,
mean, one of those was Fabregas, right? What a
yeah.
talent he was. Anyway, it's unfortunate. Move on to the next game. What's the next game?
We got West Ham against Southampton.
1-1.
What Southampton is trying to chase now, they equal the tally of Derby County in 2008. Derby is the officially the worst ever Premier League team when they went down in terms of points. And I think today, with the point that they got today, they are equal on the same points as Derby. The only motivation for them is to try to clinch a point of or two
Yeah,
till
to
the end
clear
of the
that.
season to not go into the books for the wrong reasons. Now, West Ham is a puzzle.
Yes, they are.
These guys
They are.
won the conference European Conference League, the first European Cup, the first ever cup in I don't know how long. And David Moyes was never given the time, and everyone is against him. Okay, you got rid of David Moyes, despite being at least, despite, by the way, him saving them twice from relegation and getting them a European Cup, which they can only dream about a year or two before. And they were in the middle of the table. My question is for the West Ham fans: what do you expect? To be fighting for the title? To be the top six? He was good enough to keep you in the middle and be a team that maybe you'll get to the semi-final or final of a cup. Maybe you were
Well,
in the
their
yeah
history wasn't good anyway. I mean, you're spot on. Before that, they were struggling every single year. It's either at the bottom or getting relegated the past 10, 15 years. And this guy's kind of sturdied the ship, got you a trophy out of, by the way, nothing because they haven't really shown signs of. I mean, Newcastle, when they got a trophy this season, you can say that last season or the season before they were getting to the final, doing something. But sorry, for West Ham, it's like something, he pulled a rabbit out of a hat in my books,
yeah. Well, they
right?
did well the season before because this is where they clinched the spot for the Conference League.
Agree, completely agree,
And
but
you were guys, you were punching above your weight.
above your weight, exactly. It was
So
what was Anthony? What's his name? The striker number nine, Anthony
Antonio,
Antonio, and Antonio and Bowen were on fire that season.
yeah,
I mean, and their defense was so well organized. And this is what he does normally. This is what David Moyes does. He kind of sorts out those positions fairly well, so that the least amount of efforts that, or at least chances that they have, they score. And he's always got a good goal scorer in him. Now I know Antonio has disappeared off the face of the earth. I think he's injured, right? He's got some
you
sort of a
know,
serious injury.
yeah. He,
And
he he was in a car accident and he got a really serious injury. I'm not sure he's gonna
yes,
be coming back anytime soon, even in the for the preseason. But again, you change now two managers. Obviously, you can't blame Potter now. It's
no
too
way.
early to blame him. But again, with that bunch of players, would you think they will go much higher in the table? I don't think so.
No, no,
I don't.
not for what I'm seeing. No, they need to shuffle things around in the summer, bring some new kids in, or youngsters maybe that can lift up the team. I know it sounds crazy because youngsters don't normally do that, but if you've got a few good players coming up in the ranks and in the academy, and West Ham is well known to always bring out new players. I mean, I remember a few big names. Lampard was one.
Yeah,
I think, if I'm not
that
mistaken,
had a good
James
academy.
Milner was one also.
No, James
Uh,
was Leeds.
I'm sorry, Leeds. Yes. Ferdinand was another one. There was a few. So maybe maybe they could do something in
Yeah,
the summer.
yeah, yeah. This is the thing. I mean, you need to be humble. Go back to the basics. Give the youngsters a bit of time, a season or two, to develop, and then. And I think Potter will do much better with youngsters than we
Yeah,
would do with those
guaranteed.
bunch of players because it's hard to
Yes,
mold these players. So yeah, is he gonna get time? I don't know. I know their fans are impatient, and they don't really give time to their managers. So yeah, it is. Be careful for what you wish for.
true. Yeah. And do you think Mohammed is going Kudus?
I think although he has an 85 million release close, that's a lot of money. But I think he will go. If it was 50 or 60, I would have told
Yeah,
you
yeah,
100% he's gone.
definitely. Yeah, the
He's
price
gone.
is a bit
They'll
too
snatch
high.
him.
I don't. He's look. Don't get me wrong. He's a really good player. I think
He's not an 85 million player.
yes.
He's
I don't
he's
think he's
a,
at that level.
he's At this time, yeah, I think 50, 60 years probably because the crazy prices are going all over the place. Yes, he deserves a better team, definitely, or a team that plays to his strengths because
Yes,
they seem to
West Ham
be
definitely don't.
they seem to be lost. I don't know.
Yes. So there's some games that you see him trying to do stuff and he's all over the place and different areas of the pitch, and but it's like, guys, where are you? It's just me. You feel that about this guy, but
Yeah, yeah. I think the whole team they have got three good players. I would say Mohamed Kudus, Paqueta, and
and
uh,
Bowen,
and Bowen. Those three, I mean, these are the standouts. The rest are average, below
bang
average, probably.
average,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
even lower than average.
yeah,
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah,
yeah. That is it.
unfortunate.
The last game is the and was the most entertaining.
I was surprised.
How it shifted, I have no idea what happened. Uh, After
5 games
45 minutes,
unbeaten,
and
Maz.
after 45 minutes from this match, after the 45 minutes, I never thought they will collapse like this.
Well, I
They
think the
gave it a
signs were
fight.
there. I
They
think
gave it
the
a
signs were
fight.
there.
Yeah, but they gave
Yes.
it a fight. Suddenly, they gave up.
Um, Maz, I think the momentum, Aston Villa had a point to prove. I mean, what they did against Paris Saint-Germain midweek was, I mean, remarkable. I don't care. They were knocked out, yes. Just imagine if that goal in the last minutes of the first leg didn't go in. We would have a different story to talk about. Now, that took them into this match. You would think that their heads will drop, they'll be disappointed, this and that. But first half, the signs were there. Don't tell me. I mean, Newcastle weren't bad in the first half, but Aston Villa create made them put a lot of pressure on them and created a lot of good chances. They hit the bar with Watkins. The first goal was, yeah, lucky. I must admit, 100%. But the signs were there first half. Now the changes should have come earlier, if you ask me, for Newcastle. They didn't. Maybe Eddie Howe would have made a different decision because he's not around. I hope he's feeling better. Um, but then few changes from Unai, and they were just they just exploded. The minute that second goal went in, and it was done.
Yeah,
You
that's
can sense it was done.
they collapsed.
Yes,
Yeah, they
that
collapsed.
goal went in. It was the third. What they scored 3 goals in 11 minutes, and that's besides the good chances that they had. So very
Yeah,
entertaining game. Well deserved. I think Aston Villa really deserved that game. Nothing. I don't think Newcastle can really talk about any positive in that game besides the goal that they scored. Didn't give it a go after that. I mean, what's his name? Tried at the end. What's Colin Wilson at
mm.
the end? But it was done and dusted. After 3-1, the game was over.
Yeah, it's typically not Newcastle the way they collapsed.
True.
11 minutes, 3 goals, they gave up. Usually they keep on fighting, the spirit. Something maybe they thought they're a bit relaxed in the top four. They're gonna clinch the Champions League spot. They thought maybe it was granted. Maybe because they haven't lost, and now they're thinking, no, they're gonna not go. Something played into the head. Aston Villa is a very well organized team. I mean, credit to Unai, he redeemed his name. Everybody thought that his stint with Arsenal was a failure, but now he proved himself once again. Aston Villa, if you ask me, they were and still are punching over their weight. Now they've got quality players coming in. They came in January, yes, but if you look at the team overall, and they go head and toe with the big boys, he really made them stronger. He made them
100%.
solid as a unit. They're really good. Even
Very.
even in Europe, they're a very well organized team. I
And he
thought this
hasn't
day,
changed much, to be honest,
no,
Maz. He hasn't changed much,
no,
but it's the mentality and the, he's getting the best out of his players, really.
yeah,
I mean, look at it. Maz, they're sixth in the league, 57 points with 33 games played. You've got Nottingham Forest, 57 points, 32 games
Yeah.
played, and the way Nottingham Forest are playing, you don't see them getting many more. Man City 58, Newcastle 59. I mean, tell me, it
Yeah,
looks,
that's
yeah,
a battle to watch.
it is, and they're 3 points away from Chelsea. Okay,
Now,
so
if Tottenham manage to beat Nottingham Forest on Monday, then that will be a hell of a finish for the top five race. All
that's
of
where
them
the
are
real race is really.
all
Yes,
of them
it's
are in the mix. All of them.
100%, 100%. You've got Chelsea, Aston Villa. I mean, I'm thinking Aston Villa has more of a chance than anyone to clinch a spot. I mean, Man City definitely I think they'll get their chance. Newcastle also maybe. It's between Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa for the
Yeah.
last spot, really.
On paper, I
Unless
think Aston Villa has the toughest fixtures till the end. But again, this is the Premier League. You never know.
they don't have European football anymore, so most probably they'll
Quite
and they
possible.
have everyone fit. They're not missing a player or was no, yeah. They're not missing anyone. And I think my money's on Aston Villa to go through, Maz.
Well, I hope so.
Definitely.
They deserve it. I mean, and it's also good for Nottingham Forest if they play in the Europa League instead of the Champions League.
Well,
It's good
I've
for the development at least. They develop slowly and they become
yes,
it.
bit by bit you take it up, but I bet you Nottingham Forest fans will eat you alive
Yeah.
for saying that. Um,
What
and I don't
were
blame
they?
them because
Let's say it this way. Did any one of them give me any one of them who actually dreamed that they will be in the top 10 in the beginning of the season? Everybody was talking that they were going down. Even their fans. They were not even
no,
their fans. They're convinced.
I know, Maz, but let's be honest, you and I, did you think you're going to win the league this season?
No,
There you go.
but
So,
again, it's Liverpool.
no, yes, I agree. But Nottingham Forest, come Christmas, everyone thought they clinched a European spot, a Champions League spot, in fact, right?
Some
When it,
of them were even dreaming they might go and fight
and
for
win
the
it.
title.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yes.
there was talk, whispers about yes, we can do it. Do the Leicester.
No, not anymore. 19 points is way. I mean, it's long gone. Let's put it that way. I think their dip in form the past five matches have been really
Yeah,
disappointing, but nevertheless, my money's on Aston Villa, Maz. I'm,
yeah, me
I,
too.
I think, I think that's Aston Villa deserve it. They've got a really good manager that knows
Yeah.
his shit. Question for you: tomorrow's matches, two of them are really important. What's your take on those? And just briefly touch up on those. You've got
Well, look,
Arsenal and Bournemouth,
yeah. No,
isn't it?
Arsenal,
Sorry, my
Swish,
apologies. Oh, shit.
Swish. Well,
Yes.
let's see. My dream, yes, Liverpool wins and Arsenal loses, and we clinch the title. That's not going to happen. Arsenal will probably win, even if it's away at Ipswich. So it's going to be delayed, which I prefer because then we have to beat Tottenham at Anfield and officially guarantee the title at Anfield. So it's much more better than doing it away.
So you think Arsenal going to beat Ipswich? And what's
Yeah,
your
yeah,
prediction on that?
yeah. Arsenal will beat Ipswich definitely, but probably 2-0 or 2-1.
2-0?
Yeah.
I don't know why I see it as a 1-1.
I hope so, but I don't. No,
I see it as a 1-1.
Arsenal is gonna win it. Liverpool will win. I'll give it a 2-0.
2-1. I
Yeah,
think Leicester's going to score. Jamie Vardy enjoys scoring against Liverpool.
yeah, true,
I have
true,
and
true.
our boys have proved lately have
No,
always managed to sneak
yeah,
it, you know. So I'm going 2-1. You've got 2-0 and you've got 2-0 for both, right?
yeah.
I have a draw 1-1 and 2-1. Well, let fingers crossed that that happens tomorrow, and then against Tottenham, uh, I think yeah, I think that's the game that we will be all relaxed and finally Arteta would eat his words after saying, "We won't let them win the league tomorrow." It's you know what? Sorry, man. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's not tomorrow, it's after tomorrow. So who gives a shit?
No,
Or next
no,
week?
no, no. I'm telling you, let's wait and do it at Anfield. It's much more better.
Yeah, still a draw tomorrow
Yeah,
means they we don't win the league.
yeah.
Still,
True,
it's a loss that.
true.
So yeah, let's hope for the best. And well, can't wait for tomorrow's game.
Me too.
Can't
Me
wait.
too. And
Yes,
it's
and
only, as we said, it's only a matter of time. Number 20, and then who's the biggest, best team in England? It's Liverpool back again.
I mean they well deserved. I can't. You know what, Maz? Just one last thing I want to touch up on. I've been I've been really pissed off lately. A lot of people talking about. I read something about Salah having 27 goals and I think it's 17 or 18 assists this season. And what someone said, many of them were penalties? And I'm like, okay, so now because Salah has scored nine, of course, that's a third of his goals were penalties. But um, even if you take the penalties away, Isak has 21 with two penalties, so he's 19 and 18, really. If you take all the penalties away, but you still have to score penalties. Did we forget when um
No,
what's his name?
well,
Fernandez was
yeah.
scoring penalties
I'll
for fun?
I'll I'll give you something else. Why do you put Salah in the same bracket? He's not a striker. He's a winger. I mean,
I
40,
understand.
45 goal contributions. That's amazing for a winger. I mean, if he was number nine, then yes, I would start to compare Isaac with Isaac is number nine. He should score more. Salah
Pisses me off.
Salah
It
as a
piss
winger, if he does a 20, that's good enough because he's not the striker, but his numbers are was and still up there with Harry Kane's numbers.
Maz,
And
Saka
he's
doesn't have the same amount. I mean,
yeah,
he's not even close. Saka has, I think, 8 assists or 10.
yeah,
I mean, come on.
it's just jealousy. I mean, banter, if you want to call it. They're pissed off, obviously. You hear all these things. It's the easiest league. Then why didn't you win it? If it's the easiest
It's
league,
easier. I can't agree more. I swear, it's like
it's the
there's always
same,
excuses when
same,
Liverpool win it.
same with the
The
Arsenal
Champions
fans.
League when we won it, same thing. Oh, Tottenham were the better team,
Yeah, why
but they didn't
why
win it.
didn't why didn't you win it then? The same for the Arsenal fans. Yeah, it's not this. Okay, fine. You're second 3 seasons in a row. Why didn't you win it?
It's
It's
unfortunate.
it's always a
It's
reason.
not just the Arsenal fans. Don't I mean, it's not. I think it's not really the Arsenal fans. I think you know who are the fans that's kind of trying to reduce the impact of what Liverpool have achieved this season, and it's the United fans. And well, take nothing away from the way they managed to go through in the Europa League, but I mean, you haven't won anything yet, guys. And the way you're playing, to be fairly honest, if they were, it is what it is. I don't want to. They deserve the win. I mean, to come back from 3 goals down, but why are you trashing someone else's party? I mean, guys, come on. You
Obviously, yeah, because they're jealous. That's it.
well, they
They're
won the league
pissed
with
off.
74 points once.
Yeah, they're pissed off. They're pissed off. When was the last time they won the league? 10, 12 years ago? I don't know. Was it more? I don't know. I'm not sure.
2013, it's
Yeah, 12,
12, 13 years ago. Yeah,
yeah, and counting. This is also when was the last time Arsenal won the league? 20 years ago?
something like that.
More than 20 years ago. So these are numbers, right?
2003, 22 years ago. Yeah, I
What,
think it was 2003.
and when was the last time Liverpool won the league? Few years ago. So
Yeah,
here you go.
five,
Uh,
5 years ago. So,
and instead of saying, because I heard that also, Liverpool has won the league once in 35 years. Okay, but we've won it 20 in the last 120 years. How many did you win it in the last 120 years?
it's true,
If you
true.
want to, if you want to play this game of numbers.
You know, when you talk to the United fans, they say that, well, we haven't won the Premier League. It's because the Premier League has, I mean, you can't, just because you change the name doesn't change the fact that you've won it. I don't
No,
know. And
no,
anyway, it wasn't
but
named the Premier League
but
for long.
no. I don't think they've even won the Premier League. They won the Barclays Premier League, That was
Yeah, they won
what it
the
was called. If you
what
if you
was
want to go for the
Carling
namings,
Premier League. Yeah,
yeah, if
the
you want to
yeah.
go, if you want to play this year, officially you haven't won the Premier League. You've won the Barclays Premier League. If you want
Yes,
to play this
exactly.
game,
So if you want to go play that game, we've won it twice, by the way.
yeah,
Well, the second one's coming.
and if it's for United guys, the European Cup, which you wax about in 1999, which you won, is
You can find it
officially
in
on display at Anfield in the Liverpool Museum.
yes,
There,
exactly.
it's the
If you want to
same.
see it, that is.
It's the same copy which you lifted. It's at Liverpool. Welcome. Be my guest.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, even if you lift it again, you're not going to get that one.
No,
You'll get
that
a
was the last.
replica.
That was the last one, the original one to be ever given.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Maz, thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, guys,
It's always a pleasure talking to you, buddy. Where I've got some ideas for the fans out there for them. There'll be a bit of a trivia the next time. Well, not the next time out. I'm still working it through. So just the prize at the end of the season for everyone that's been following us. So thanks a lot, buddy, again, and I'll
thank
let you
you.
know the updates, and we'll pick and choose. It's not going to be a Liverpool jersey, just to let you guys know. Well, unless you want one, we don't mind. Then we'll see. Okay, we'll let people know what goes
We'll
on.
see
All
you
right, buddy.
tomorrow then. Yeah.
Yes. Take care,
Bye bye.
buddy.
Cheers.
Have a
Bye
good one.
bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.